course, with Matthew Tkachuk back in the lineup, how does that help alleviate some of the pressure off a player like Sam Reinhart on the ice and just from a leadership perspective?
I mean, to 5-on-5, they don't play together, but certainly the leveling out of minutes. I've played Sam Reinhart an awful lot of hockey this year. Certainly, if we were chasing a game, he's a guy who scored 50 goals, so he's the guy that we've run hard. Changes the power play, although first power play we got, he was in the penalty box. Matthew was, so we didn't get to see him. So just, I think we're going to put two lines on the ice that are fairly close to our second and third line last year, so there's some familiarity there. And then his ability to complete plays. I thought he played a really good game. I had planned on 15 to 17 minutes. He ended up playing 20. I thought his first game back for such a long absence was really solid.
What do you enjoy most about coming back to this building?
Oh, all of it. There's just little flashes of memories. Get to see my daughter, which is really nice, and she coached a game last night, so that was a little special joy there for me to watch her standing behind the bench and then stand there after an overtime loss, wondering what kind of mood she's got. It's the first time I've ever waited for a coach to come out and wonder what kind of mood they'd be in. It was awesome. Like, truly, I'm sitting there thinking, well, first of all, how long is this going to take? I think about how many hours my wife's waited for me, but see what kind of mood she's in. And then the drive to her place, and she was talking about the game, and God, it was like looking in a mirror. She was shift changes she missed, some things she missed. She's talking about all the things that could have changed, and then how happy she was about the way her girls had played. So I had a great night last night. It was fun.
What is the team she coaches?
The St. Mary's High School team, yeah.
Who handles overtime losses better, her or you?
Oh, she's way more solid than I am. But honest to God, the words coming out of her mouth, I've said in my own head 1,000 times, right? She's talking about a line change late in the second period, wish she had, anyway. That's I was actually really impressed with how aware she was of what happened in the game on the bench and the details that she would change. So I'm not sure she's ready for a life of it. I think she should probably stick to teaching. It's a little calmer, but it was a great night.
Is that a first you said too?
I'm sorry? First time seeing her, yeah. Like, she's been on the bench before, and but it was the first time kind of at a game for her. Yeah, it was good. It was really, really
Paul,
good.
you mentioned you've had to ride Sam hard with all the injuries and that sort of thing. Have there been other people, though, that have surprised you in terms of being able to step up and help fill the void?
Well, Evan Rodriguez would be one, so he goes from the wing to the middle, and he's playing at 19 minutes a night, and in on the penalty kill, which isn't a place that we've used him, and so Sam Bennett. I wouldn't say he had a slow start. I probably did that to him. We were trying to find the right line combinations, but he's been fairly close to a point a game in his last 30 games, so he's been really good. But Evan Rodriguez is the guy that we've asked for the biggest change. He has to play center ice now. There's a different cost to center icemen than there are to wingers, but he's been excellent for us.
Paul, with so many key players out right from game one, have you or your coaching staff had to kind of look at attacking the net in a different way or defending the rush in a different way, tweaks like that without personnel?
If you lose one or two guys, you can still kind of demand and expect your team to look close to a certain way. But when we got into, it's been 6 to 8 players now the entire year. You're not going to look the same way. So we have had to make some adjustments, which is painful for us, right? We don't want to change that core identity and style of play. We just look different. We just don't have the same. Most of the men that we have in our lineup are big men. So we don't forecheck. We don't look the same way. It's the same routes. It's just not the same effectiveness to what we do. So we have had to, and it's been a challenge. But we still believe that in the base foundation of our game that we can play it every night. We're not as consistent with it, but there's still a belief there that we can get it done.
Being a better team than your record shows, you're a winning team on the outside of the playoffs. How's your group handled coming to the rink every day in a territory or a position you're probably not used to?
There's a lot to that question because it's we've had a couple of pretty good years, so you have an expectation then, right? That your expectation rises of what your game should look like. Losses are harder because you get used to winning and you crave it, and when it doesn't happen for you, there's a frustration that you have to watch. I think our guys have handled it exceptionally well. I think we learned last year you're also looking for a different energy source. So when you're just on the edge of it, when we had lost the first year, you bring that edge to the rink every night. Stayed pretty healthy that second year, and we certainly stayed healthy through the playoffs. Got just lucky with that. And then you come back again after 2 now, and we were 15 minutes into that first practice on our first day of training camp, and we're going up and down the ice, and I go, my God, we got a good team. And then Barkey went down. The world changed. So there's that emotion that I think that we still are fighting for on a regular basis. It's hard to put the long string but I'm also burning these guys out. I know that. I'm running them so hard, and the condensed schedule and all those things. With all those are factors, not excuses for us. They're just factors. And we've handled that pretty darn well. Our analytics are better than our record. So we just believe that if we stay in the fight long enough, that we can do it. All we got to do is make the playoffs. We never had home ice advantage in any of our rounds, so we just got to get there. But getting there in the East right now is a task.
Speaking of staying in the fight, Paul, when was the last time you were coaching a game that 2 goalies dropped the gloves and went at it like the other?
I can't remember it. I can't. There was some fake attempts at a fight where they got fairly close to each other, and somehow the linesman got in there. And then there was a lot of waving arms at that point, but I saw Sergei go blasting down the ice, but I was watching that there were 2 Ds being kind of held out of the scrum a little bit by the referee, and hold the face off inside and all that. We're chasing. And there goes Sergei blasting, and there was like 2 concurrent thoughts. The first is, he's kind of deserved to have a little bit of fun. For 2 years, it's a very pressure-filled situation that he is, because he goes long stretches where he wouldn't get any action, and then it's a breakaway, and he's just so good at that. So, and then there's the thought of hands or face. Like, if you're going to break something, I don't want it just for him personally. I don't want it to be his face. I'd rather it be his hand, but his hand might be harder for. That's a lot that blasts through your brain, and then really, really happy when it's over. Really happy when it's over.
What stands out about Jonathan Toews?
All love of the game. So I would say that, kind of in watching it from a distance, we had Eric Stahl come back at 39, and watch that he would come into the rink with a different kind of joy about being there, understanding that there's not 10 more years to your career. And all the small parts of the game that maybe younger players take for granted, or very possibly don't even notice. They just love all parts of it, taping their stick, all the stuff that the road trips. That love of the game is so important for some of those younger players to see.
Any lineup changes tonight?
Daniel Tarasov plays goal for us. That's going to be it.
Paul, just the other day they announced that they're going to have an alumni game here with 2.0 members of the Winnipeg Jets.
Did they get a hold of Buff?
They did.
Really? Is he coming?
He's in.
Yeah, he's training right now.
Yeah.
He's training for that game. I know it.
Yeah. But just in terms of some of the past experiences you've had with outdoor games, rather, how different was it was it January 1st, I think, the U.S. played?
Second, yeah.
The second, yeah.
It was awesome, different. I mean, I was part of 3 of them here. The Heritage game here with Edmonton was special, and I felt that one almost the Legends game the day before. So many great players out there that we all kind of grew up with, and I thought that game kind of felt like maybe a gift to Mark Chipman, like for bringing the team back, and then to have a full building, like it was kind of like the team was back in so many ways. The next one was pure hockey, outdoor fun. Brian Little overtime in Calgary. It was snowing, and we were starting a road trip, so we got to kind of live on it for a day or 2. That was just fantastic, but cold. This one reminded me, because I think the game here, I think Buff toe picked at the blue line. They went down and scored. Like, there were 3 really unusual goals, and we gave up 3 shorthanded goals, 3 power. We were killing a penalty, and we just never do that. So it was kind of one of those off games. But for the spectacle and for the game of hockey, certainly in the South, it was incredibly well done. And every year, I would say then kind of that, the production of it, the quality of the experience for everybody was fantastic. We had our entire families were down, our grandparents, babies. We got 13 babies in our, so we had this great big family event. It was great for the game, we think. It's a long way from here, but great for the game.
Hey, how was the White House visit for you?
More surreal, the White House is something in the newspapers growing up, and we had 3 TV channels, so it's something that you hear about, but to walk around it is impressive, right? All the pictures on the walls, the history of it, that was very impressive, yeah.
As a Canadian, do you hear a little poke at Canada? What was that like for you?
I'm kind of used to it going both ways. Everybody's got their elbows up on one side, and everybody's upset on the other side, and that's the great part about sport. We get to ignore all of it.